Hey, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. We have a new sponsor in the house, and that's Wolfbox. Wolfbox makes a series of different items, but the main item that we're really interested in is their new G900 Pro camera, dash cam. And we're going to show you what's involved in it. We're going to open the package up, show you everything that you get, everything that you can order additional to it, and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's get to it. So with the Wolfbox G900 Pro camera setup, it is a 4K dash cam. It has voice control. It has GPS. It has light sensors. It has night vision. It has all kinds of neat stuff, and it goes in place of your current mirror, or you can put it over the top of your current mirror. I'll show you all that as we install it, but this is kind of the system. I've got a whole list of stuff this thing has. I'm used to dash cams that just pretty much basically record, and if you hit a button, it'll do an emergency thing, or if somebody bumps into the car, it'll record that. I haven't read through the book yet, but that's kind of a nice feature. You hear it all the time on these dash cam videos. But with that, you have enhanced night vision, which is really good. And then, of course, you've got the 5.8G Wi-Fi and app control for seamless connectivity. That definitely makes it easy. The one I've got in my car right now, it has a hard time when it gets hot out. It gets hot out, sun beats on the windshield, and it just quits working, or the memory card just gives you faults. This one has nice hands-free operation with voice control and automatic collision detection and parking surveillance. So while your car's sitting there in the parking lot and somebody runs into it, you're covered there. It also will track your journey with precision. It has your driving routes and all that kind of fun stuff with your exact location, your speed details. So, for example, I've seen a few of the dash cams where they've been pulled over by an officer, and the officer tells them, "Oh, you're doing 85 miles an hour in a 60," and you know darn good and well you weren't. They're just they're just fishing or what have you. These things can stop that from happening because they keep a record of everything. And the better the unit, the better the record. It also has reverse assist with for your parking. So if your car doesn't have backup camera, there you go. This particular one is the G900 Pro. They make the regular G900, but if you're going to do it, go all the way. These are nice because you can move them from car to car or install it permanently in whatever car you want it in, which is my suggestion. There's a lot of fraud going on out there in the world, not just on the internet, but insurance fraud. These things save you every time. If you watch on YouTube, you see dash cam videos all the time of somebody blowing through an intersection and crashing into somebody's car. And the one thing that saves that person that didn't violate the law is their dash cam. It shows proof to the officer that, hey, look, this person did this person did that. I didn't do it. It was their fault. If you look at the camera, my light was green, that kind of thing. So these things are really, really handy to have. This one has got to be one of the best ones I've seen so far. I've had a couple of different ones, and they offer a lot of features, but nothing like this thing. This thing is an animal. So they've sent me their G900 Pro. We're going to do an install video in the RAV4. And we're going to go ahead and hook everything up, take a look at some of the features, take it for a drive down the road, and I'll pull a video right from it for this video. So we'll see that. But they've sent that. You've got installation kits that are available with the different dongles and that type of thing you'll need. So we've got 2 packets of those. We've got our wiring harness in here. And then, of course, we've got a little mount. And we've got another box of stuff, which is, hold on a minute, and we'll find out what it is. Oh, okay, for your mirror mount. So you got actually remove your you remove your mirror and put this in its place as a little slide-on thing, and then the camera goes here. And let's open it up. Let's see what we got here. Grab my little knife, and let's open this box up and see what we got. Like I said, this box is heavy, so there's got to be some good equipment in there. Generally, that's a good sign that it's not chintzy. That one that I've got, the other one that I have came in a box about that big. It has a front camera, rear camera. That's about it. The video quality, I've downloaded a few videos. I was going to put some on YouTube, and yeah, no, they're no good. So yeah, to Papa's Custom Cars, you can start looking for some Utah driver videos, which are always good. These folks are bad. And we've got our box. Looks like we open on this side. Yes, no, maybe, oh, there it is. All right, so we've got our box open. Really nice packaging. And the first thing we find is a giant mirror. So let's unwrap that. Like I said, this takes the place of your current car mirror, or you can opt to mount it over the top of your mirror as opposed to in place of it, and use this bracket that comes with it too. Actually, it's the other way around, but yeah, you've got your mirror here, really nice big mirror, and then you've got your camera here on the other side, which is also a really nice camera, the Wolfbox. It's got some heft to it, so it feels real good. Of course, they say read your instructions before you install it. Always suggest reading the instructions when you're messing with something like this. This is a high dollar piece. You know, this is a $300 plus dash cam, so you definitely want to mount it right and put it in right. So we're going to put it in our company car for the time being, and then later on we're going to move it over to the truck, and that way we can use it for that. So the next thing in the box, put all this over here behind it. So the next things in our box are our power cord with our cigarette lighter adapter, our GPS module, whoopsie, our GPS module, because it has GPS, a bunch of miscellaneous gaskets, there's a little mount, and you've got your rear camera. So this is a front and a rear camera, and this rear camera is just as nice as the front one. Then, of course, you've got your installation tool. These things are handy, and they're good when you're done using them. You save these. These are really, really handy for doing things in trim work. Then, of course, you've got your cloth for cleaning it, more gaskets, and, of course, the one thing you need the most is your user's manual. So you've got your user's manual, and then you've got your dash cam quick guide. So it's kind of neat. So that's all of the stuff in that box. So we'll go ahead and set that box back here for now. Then, of course, here we've got the installation kits. On this particular one, they opted to send me everything that I need to put it in the RAV4. So we definitely want to show everything that came with it. Let me open these two packages. Okay, the first package includes additional fuses for direct hookup, I'll betcha. More direct hookups than fuses. We've got, I'm believing this is probably the wireless. Let me see here real quick. Type-C hardware. So this is our Type-C hardware kit. So it's got your little hardware kit for, wiring everything in. Little teeny tiny instructions, and you know me and my eyesight, I'm going to have to blow that way up so I can see it. So what I'm going to do here now, we'll put that back in here. You want to keep everything separate. Don't mix everything up until you're ready to put it in. I always suggest when you're putting something together, don't put it, Don't take anything out of the bag until you're ready for it. So in this other one, we have a cable kit. This is going to be your extension to run from the back camera to the front camera. So that's definitely enough wire to get there, along with what they already give you with the camera. So there's definitely enough room for that. So this is just an extension cable for that for the setup. So that's kind of nice. We'll close that up. So let's. I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to read through the directions. I am approaching it for the very first time, just like you are watching it for the very first time. And like I say, so far so good. This is a really, really nice setup. And that's important. Okay, we'll set that there. We'll set that there. We'll put that there. And I'm not going to permanent mount this in there because this is my company car, and if lo and behold I retire, then I want to be able to take it all out. It will be permanently mounted in one of my cars. It'll probably go in, like I said, once the truck's up and running, it'll probably go in the truck because I'll be using it for towing and all that kind of fun stuff. So it'll be good to have that backup camera, because that unit does not have a backup camera. It's a 90s, so there's nothing in there like that. So this will definitely be a big addition to that setup. So let's go ahead and I'll put everything back in the box, and then we're going to approach it, and you get extra tools too. I'm going to read through the directions, figure out how everything works, and we'll go from there, and I'll be back in just a little bit. For me, it'll be about an hour because I need to read through, get the truck ready and everything ready to put everything together. For you, it'll be about 5 seconds. So we'll be right back up like that.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so I've kind of sorted some of this stuff out. It is a really, really easy installation on a temporary basis or a permanent basis. Because I'm doing a temporary basis, this, as you see, there's little rubber pads here, goes against the mirror in the car that's already in the car, and these rubber, and you've got 4 of these, and it just depends on the size mirror that you're using, but it hooks on like that and around your mirror. So you don't have to remove your mirror unless you're doing a permanent installation. So this is definitely a way easier way to mount it than I had thought. My understanding was it had to be mounted on the mirror, and it doesn't. So, or, excuse me, in place of the mirror. You can, with this adapter, mount it in place of your mirror, but you don't have to. So like in this particular case, because I'm mounting it temporarily, where did my little, there it is. And then this works basically the same way. There's 4 screws, and they go on there. Whoops. This mounts on your mirror. Screws go into this, and then this goes on here. The same way that it would with the mirror. So you can go either way. Definitely a nifty little way to install it. Let me grab this real quick. Got your little clips and hooks and all that fun stuff. There's something in here too. And you got more of the mounting screws that go into this. So I'm not going to be permanently mounting this in the RAV4 because it is a company vehicle. Later on, I do plan on pulling this out, and it will go into the truck. So, but this is to let you know that you can install it permanent. So that's kind of nifty. And there's your little screws to do it. So with that, I've got kind of a general idea how everything's installed. Really simple, easy to follow directions. Also easy to follow directions on how to use it. But each part that you order, like for example, this is your mirror mount. It basically shows you pictures of, here's your mirror, here's this, etc., on how to mount this on in permanently. So that's definitely a nifty little way to do it. But yeah, these little rubber band thingies held everything together. In this particular case, if you're using the permanent mirror, I believe you use the smaller ones. Yep, you do. And if you grab the other small one somewhere, there it is. And if you do it like this, it's really, really easy to do. You put your screws in to the bracket, like so. You got your rubber bands on there, and you put this in place of your mirror and run your wires. All your wiring is, all your wiring is here at the top. So you're going right up into the top of the windshield of the car. Memory card. There's already one in it, which I thought was kind of nice. So you get a free memory card. But yeah, that's how this goes together. It's definitely pretty neat. What I am going to do is I'm going to put the screws on this so that this piece is all in one place. And like I say, once I get the truck running, it's going to move over to the truck. Okay, so to mount it permanently, you remove these little buggers, and there are screws that go into this. So that's a permanent mount situation, so it's good to go there. And the nice thing about this permanent mount system is that if you're putting it in your personal car and you straight in your car, you just undo this little screw, put the old mirror back on, and put this back, or put this into your new car. Like I say, the temporary mount, you just rubber band right there and right there. Now, if you're mounting it permanent, I don't suggest doing this. I suggest go ahead and pulling the tapes on the back of this, the four corners, and putting in your screws. But yeah, there's your mirror, all installed and ready to go. The only thing you got to do is run your power. And as you're going to see here real quick, they give you the little tool to feed the wire, and you're going to see how easy this is to install. Like I said, the memory card's already in there. Everything's marked GPS. There's your AV, probably your back camera, your USB-C plug-in, and then, of course, your memory card. So that's kind of cool. So let's go over there and let's install this on the mirror. Okay, so we're going to need our power wire. We're going to need our GPS wire, which is right here. They've got some double-sided tape for the rear camera. Like I say, I'm not permanently mounting anything in this RAV4. It is not my car to permanently mount things in. So let's go over and let's mount the camera first, and we'll go from there. Let me grab the rubber straps that we're going to need, and then the tool. And let's go install this in the truck. Okay, now that we're in the car, we can go ahead and install it. Like I said, there are two ways you can install it. You can remove the windshield mount for the mirror. If you're doing a permanent installation, that's what I would suggest, and then you don't have to worry about someone stealing it. There are two different harnesses that you can purchase with the system. The first harness is the one that runs. So there are two different ways you can put power to it. The first one's going to be your regular old cigarette lighter plug. It's also got an extra hook in, so you can hook anything USB to it, and then this plugs into the camera. This is for your temporary mount. You could use it for permanent, but why would you if you can order this kit? This kit comes with the red goes to your battery, or I'm sorry, your accessory. Your ground goes to ground, and your yellow goes to your positive. And then this is basically your added system that detects that will keep it running even when the car's turned off, and it'll automatically shut off if your voltage drops below a certain point. So it's a really nice setup. It also comes with these really neat connectors. So all you have to do is tag into the fuse box on those connectors. One from one from your battery, etc., etc. And this plugs in place of your fuse, and then you have two fuses, one that goes to this line, and of course the other fuse that takes care of your other line. So boom, that's really a neat way to do it. Just plug them in and move along, nothing to see there. And then of course this end plugs into your power cords. So if you're doing it that way, then yeah, you just trace down the accessory line. When you turn the key on, it turns on, and you find the one that's hot all the time, and it'll decide based on those two, it will keep your camcorder, or your dash cam running all the time. Because this is a temporary installation, we're not going to permanently install the wiring. We could install it if we wanted to, but because this is not my vehicle, I don't want to go in and start tapping into the electrical system and all that kind of stuff. Even though I know that this kit is good and it won't be a problem, if I ever have to take it out for any reason, it'll be easy to unplug it. It took me 2 minutes to take out the old dash cam, and if I'd have known, I'd have left the power wire there because it uses the same exact power wire. The only difference is that one I had to buy this so that I could hook in both. It didn't come with this, but this one comes with it. So once you plug this in and run it around, boom, you've got power to your dash cam. So the first thing we're going to do is install the dash cam. Now this is the really hard part, which is hilarious because it's not. It's super easy. So the first thing we want to do is definitely put our power cord on it. You don't have to. You can put it on afterwards, but it's a lot easier to just plug everything in and have everything ready. So you're going to plug in your power, and then the top of the camcorder you can see, or the dash cam, I keep calling it a camcorder. The top of the dash cam you can see, and I just dropped my phone. So on the top of it you can see your USB-Cs right there, your AV, which is going to be your back camera, your memory card goes right there, and your GPS. They give you it's a little mechanism that you can use to push in. It's just like the one you get with your phone, so you can push in and pop out the memory card if you need to. These will take up to a 256 meg card. Be real careful, read through the directions to find the proper card, because the wrong card won't work right in these systems. There are high-speed cards and low-speed cards, so you want to make sure you've got a high-speed. In this case, we're going to go ahead and plug this in. We're also going to hook in our GPS. Since we have to run the line down anyway, we might as well put them both on. And it's really, really simple. You guys are going to be amazed at how simple it is to install this whole system. The hardest part is running the wiring, but that's the same on anything, and it's not as hard as you think it would be. The back camera can be a little bit difficult if you're not familiar, but yeah, it's really, really easy to do this. And the last GPS unit that I installed, like this one, if it's a good enough GPS, you can put it almost anywhere. On the bottom, or on the top, I'm sorry, it says GPS right there, so that's where we're going to hook in our GPS. Now we haven't got our back camera yet, so we don't have to worry about that at this time, but we do want to run the wires so that we don't have to worry about it. So with that, I'm going to tuck both wires behind it and then loop up. And the reason I'm doing that is so that if for some reason these wires get pulled on, I don't have to worry about them messing up. So to mount this, all you do is you get your set your dash cam on, and then you just wrap these rubber lines around. So let's go ahead and hook these in place. And there's adjustments, so you can go tighter or looser depending upon your mounting. So this one, I'm going to go to the second one. Same with this one, because it is a little bit loose on there in the first one. But you've got up to 3 adjustments on this particular one. And then I've got my wiring tucked down in here, mainly just so that I don't have to worry about it. And one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this wire over here. So I want to keep it across the whole the whole camera and then coming up right here, because I'm going to feed up in this area here. So now all we have to do is run our wires. So I'm going to move you over a little bit and realign you so you guys can see how this wiring goes in. It's really, really simple, especially when all you need is this. And you'll see that here in just a second. But when you're running your wires, run them together. If I had the back camera ready to go, I would do it, but I don't. I'm probably going to have to go the long way with that one. And there's plenty of doors and plenty of space that I need to go through. But yeah, there's the camera in place. So now for installing the wire, you just want to tuck it up inside this little area up in here, all the way down and around. This particular one, we can leave the GPS somewhere in this area. It's not a big deal, but you just want to tuck these up in there. It's really easy. You take your tool and you just feed it up. You want to leave a little bit of slack right here at the beginning in case you need to move the mirror. You don't want it to be so tight that you can't get the mirror to move. So you just push them up in there. Once you get them in there, it's pretty easy to feed them along. All you got to do is push it in there and it'll go in. Once it's in there, it's pretty good about staying in there. And then be careful along these panels. Remember that these are airbags. If you have a newer car, these are going to be airbags, so it's going to be an issue. So be careful there. And there's a couple of different ways you can go. You can go along this way, but it's very tight through here because of the windshield and everything. So you want to go to the way that's the path of least resistance, I guess you'd call it. So that's why I say you want to leave a little bit of slack there. And that's why I looped it down underneath the camera so that I have extra. And if I ever need to, I can pull that a little extra out of there. So now let's finish going down this channel. Now, right down here at the end, there's two directions you're going to go. Your GPS unit is going to separate at this point and end up going about. Make sure I got it separated. It's going to end up over here somewhere. So we're just going to leave that there for now, and then we're just going to continue to feed the other wire past it. Again, using your tool to feed it underneath this little rubber channel. And if you pull aside the rubber channel, you can feel the opening in the back of this panel, and all you got to do is push it back there, and you're good to go. So now when we come to this point, because we're not going permanent, normally I would go under the dash and over to the power and all that kind of thing, but because we're doing it temporarily, we're going to come down and we're going to kind of snake along under here. So now the RAV4 has this nice little separation between the dashboard and this piece down here. So I found this last time and I just tucked it in here underneath the dash using your plastic feeder. So if you look here, all I had to do was pull this apart a little bit and the panel came out, and I'm just feeding the wire down through here. And then I'm going to tuck it under here and I'm going to hide it up underneath here while I run it over to the other side of the car. But yeah, most cars will have these panels where you can pull out, and then like this little plastic part here, it pops out, so I could get to the wire in behind here real nice and don't have to worry about it, sticking out anywhere. Okay, now the last one I've got to go, last place I've got to go is going to be under the dash here. Okay. Now for now, I'm just going to leave it like this because later on I do have to put in some electronics for another system. I just want to tuck all this wiring up in there so it's as neat as possible. Even though it's temporary, you still want it to look nice. So there you go. So the only part you see is this part here, and of course where this wire comes out. I will be using something besides the double-sided sticky tape here, and then I'll have to tuck this excess wire down in here, which shouldn't be too tough. There's lots of room down there, so we'll be able to do that without any trouble at all. Pull our protective cover off. Oh wow, this is nice. Oh, we gotta take the little cover off of our camera too. Fantastic. Look at that picture. That is way nice. But yeah, it's definitely capturing a nice wide view here. So we'll come back here in a little bit and we'll get it all set up. But yeah, you'll notice it's already recording all your different things. You can take your pictures, set your, yeah, I said take a picture, it takes a picture again. So it's all voice controlled. So we want to go to settings, you want to set up your time and all that kind of fun stuff. But you've got all kinds of neat stuff. Just your display mode, how you want it set up, front cam, rear cam, split screen. Now, mind you, this does become your rear view mirror, so we don't have a rear camera. The only thing we've got is the front camera, so we have to go with that. Record your sound or not. G sensor, yeah, basically if your car gets hit, boom. So we're going to go ahead and cut this short. It's already 30 minutes in, so we'll have a second video on how to install the rear camera and the way the menu works for everyone. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching.